Okay, this is your last video for section 9.4. This is constructing sequences. This is when they're not giving you, let's say, enough information where you can start by looking for your common ratio or your common difference, depending on if it's arithmetic or geometric. Here they're telling me that I have a fifth term and a ninth term, and that it's arithmetic. Okay, they're telling me my fifth term is -5, and they're telling me my ninth term, so a sub 9, is -17. Okay, then they want you to find the first term and write a recursive rule for the nth term. All right, so if we start off first by looking at the fact that I have a sub 9, okay? If you think about your explicit rule says that you have a sub n equals your first term plus n minus 1 times the number of common differences. Well, we can apply this rule depending on how many or the number that you have. Okay, this says that I had to have the first term and then I would subtract 1 from the number of n's that I have. Well, what if I have my a sub 9? So what if I place a sub 9 here and I have a sub 5, okay, instead of a sub 1? How many common differences would I need between a sub 5 and a sub 9? Okay, so if you think about this number, if I write it instead of n minus 1, I'm going to say 9 minus 5 common differences. Okay, so you'd have a sub 9 equals a sub 5 plus 4 common differences. Okay, well, a sub 9 is -17. A sub 5 is -5. So plus 4 common differences. If I add 5 to the other side, you get -12 equals 4 common differences. Divide by 4. And your common difference ends up being -3. All right, well, let's go back to that recursive rule, or I'm sorry, the explicit rule that we had. And now let's put a sub 5 on the left-hand side. Say that I'm looking for my first term, your a sub 1. So I have n minus 1 times my common difference, and the common difference we just found to be -3. All right, well, n, because it's a sub 5, n has to be 5. Okay, a sub 5 has to be -5. So I'm going to replace a sub 5 with -5 from the given information that we have. That's going to equal your a sub 1 plus n, because it's the fifth term, it's 5 minus 1 times -3. Okay, so we have -5 equals a sub 1 plus, this would be 4 times -3, which is -12. If you add 12 to the other side, then you're going to see that our first term, our a sub 1, is 7. Okay, in order for you to write a recursive rule, you have to have that a sub 1. And a sub 1 we said was 7, so writing our recursive rule, you give your first term, which is a sub 1 equals 7, and you give the a sub n rule, which is a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 plus your common difference, and because my common difference is negative, I'm going to write it as -3. Okay, this concludes your videos for section 9.4.